Jungkook. But tonight is not about his global achievements, not about the Spotify streaming record he broke or the millions of hearts he held in his hands with just one note. Tonight is about the reputation he's built with hard work, blood and tears, now shaken by one unexpected act from the most unexpected of people. Kim Taeyong. Taeyong, the man who for years was known as Jungkook's closest friend, partner in laughter, in tears, in every song and stage they tracked together. But tonight, the world wondered, what exactly did Taeyong just do to cause such a shockwave in BTS's fandom and the K-pop industry? Is this just a misunderstanding, or is it just the beginning of a crack that has long been hidden behind the glitter of the stage and the smiles of the cameras? We have to go back a few days, to the moment when the world seemed to stop turning for the army. An Instagram post from Taeyong, simple as that, but enough to change the direction of the wind. A photo with no caption. Jungkook appears in it, but not as Jungkook is known to the public. Not the golden magne who always appears clean of gossip. In the photo, Jungkook sits alone in the corner of a dark room, his face looking gloomy, hand holding a piece of paper. The usually feisty eyes look empty, almost surrendered. Then what was surprising was not just the photo, but what netizens found behind the shadow, a piece of sentence on the paper that seemed to say, "I'm done pretending. The world is on fire." What's the point of all this? Why did Taeyong decide to publish that moment? Does he want to convey a hidden message? Or is he trying to open the veil that Jungkook has been hiding? HYB has not yet given an official statement, but an internal source who declined to be named revealed that the photos were actually part of private documentation between the members, not for public consumption. So why did Taeyong upload it? Was this an accident? Or precisely a deliberate conscious step? Not a few have begun to associate this action with rumors that have only been whispered in the dark spaces of fandom. That the relationship between Jungkook and Taeyong is out of harmony is shown. That there was tremendous pressure on the part of the agency to maintain the perfect image of the group, although the reality behind the scenes was far from peaceful. And now, with this upload, it's as if Taeyong said, "Enough." Some hardline fans called Taeyong's actions a betrayal, but not a few also call this a form of honesty and courage. They stated that perhaps it was time the world knew that Jungkook was not a robot achiever, but an ordinary human being who could be fragile, could get tired, and most importantly, could feel betrayed by the system that raised him. But the question still hangs. Why now? Why is it that in the midst of their enlistment, when all the members are focused on serving their respective country duties, when the public has almost forgotten about the group's internal dynamics, Taeyong chooses to rekindle this ember? There is a theory that this is related to Jungkook's solo project, which is said to be released soon after enlistment. That HYB is preparing for a big launch, and that there is tension between the agency and the other members regarding Jungkook's career direction. Some observers even pointed out that there was a big gap in how HYB prioritized Jungkook over the other members, and that Taeyong was just trying to show the injustice to the public. If so, then the next question is even more disturbing. Is this action a form of resistance from Taeyong? A warning? Or maybe a form of sacrifice so that the truth can be revealed? Even if it has to sacrifice its own reputation, Korean netizens reacted immediately. Trending topic is heating up. The words "Taeyong betrayal" and "Leave Jungkook alone" took turns topping. On the other hand, the hashtags "Protect Taeyong" and "Truth for BTS" also shot up. The fandom broke, split in two. Never in the history of BTS has support for the two most beloved members been so sharply divided. Like an unforgiving emotional battlefield, everyone felt they had their own truth. But let's step back a little. There is one thing that the media has not highlighted enough. A few hours after the post, Taeyong's personal account posted an additional story, just a picture of a dark sky with one sentence, "Not everything golden stays." The lineup is a surprising clue, as longtime BTS fans know that golden is a typical nickname for Jungkook, golden magne. Does this mean that Taeyong is conveying that Jungkook's golden days are over? Or more deeply, that the Jungkook figure they knew so far was not as beautiful as imagined? Even more shocking, the story was deleted within 10 minutes, but long enough for fans and the media to catch a screenshot of it. And since then, rumor after rumor has flooded the virtual world. Some have suggested that the photo Taeyong posted was actually taken during Jungkook's heavy burnout a year ago, and that the paper was part of a resignation letter he almost sent to HYB. If that's true, why did HYB hide it? And who saved Jungkook from that big decision? A former staff member from BTS's management team gave a shocking statement. He said that there was tremendous pressure on Jungkook to continue to perform perfectly despite his acute mental exhaustion. He also mentioned that on several occasions, only Taeyong really dared to face the management and defend Jungkook, including when Jungkook wanted to vacuum from some important events. But when Taeyong doesn't get the full support of the other members or the management, the relationship between the two cracks. From a friend to a figure separated by the system, could it be that the upload is the last form of wounded love? A message from Taeyong who said, "I've tried, but now I can't protect you anymore." And if so, how will Jungkook react? Sources close to Jungkook's family said he was devastated. He felt betrayed and personally attacked. That the only person he had ever trusted now actually opened an old wound that he wanted to close forever. But did Jungkook really not know that Taeyong's actions could be a form of cry for help? Or does he see this as sabotage? To date, there has not been a single official statement from both sides. But the army did not stop wondering. Is this the beginning of BTS's emotional breakup? Or is it the momentum that will lead them to a deeper, albeit painful, truth? As two of the industry's biggest stars clash with each other in suspense shrouded in mystery and unspoken emotion, the world can only watch. But one thing is certain, what Taeyong did was not without meaning. He knows the impact. He knows the risks. And he chose to keep doing it. Because maybe, sometimes true love is not about keeping silent, but daring to express even though you have to lose everything. Jungkook sat on the edge of his bed that night, alone. In a room lit only by dim light from the windows of his penthouse apartment, he held a cell phone that vibrated almost nonstop. Notifications keep coming. DMs from friends, messages from managers, emails from agencies, even missed calls from her mom. But that one notification left him speechless for 5 minutes without moving. Taeyong uploaded your photo. It didn't take long for her to open Instagram. But when he saw what his best friend had posted, someone who knew all sides of him, including the darkest side that not even the army had ever known, Jungkook felt like he was being slapped hard by reality. He remembers exactly when the photo was taken. He still remembers even the tiniest details. The room temperature was 19 degrees, he was wearing a worn gray hoodie that was now out of place, and the paper he was holding was a draft of a resignation email that had not yet been sent. He wrote it after a long phone call from one of HYB's top brass who questioned his commitment to the group, ridiculing him for refusing to perform at a major awards show in Japan simply because of mental exhaustion. That day, Jungkook felt that it wasn't just his body that was collapsing, but his soul also died. So how did the photo get into Taeyong's hands? Because at that time, only Taeyong entered the room and found Jungkook half sobbing, trembling hands, and puffy eyes. It was Taeyong who snatched the paper from Jungkook's hand and said in a half-angry tone, "You want everyone to see this side of you? Golden Magne surrender?" Jungkook replied, "I'm not golden.